I want to teach people to have compassion for themselves and to be able to really understand, why am I reacting like this in this situation, and how can I be the best person that I can be.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Eileen. Wow, we connected all the way back on October 2017. Wow, that puts us at an average of 2 years since we last connected. That was then. This is now. How are you doing today?
I'm great, and let's not take so long to reconnect next time.
I agree. Let's do the year. Yeah, minimum a year from the period of time. So what's going on? Like, what's the update? What's new?
I'm continually working on things because I'm passionate about helping people with their relationships. And, I've just come to realize that so many of us shut our hearts down. And so I'm working on programs to help people bring awareness to opening their hearts again.
Now, it's important for the person that's helping someone to ensure that they are grounded, that they're in a space that they can overflow their cup, if you would, right? Mm-hmm. How do you do that, Eileen? How does that work for you?
My basis of my coaching is using the Enneagram. And I think we had a great conversation about that. You do know the Enneagram, right?
Yeah, I'm a 7.
Oh, makes sense. Makes total sense. For those that don't know what the Enneagram is, it is a personality model that has been around since the 1700s. It's well respected. It's taught at Stanford University. They're even trying to get it into the medical training. It's used in corporations, religions use it, therapists use it, and it's more in depth of other personality models like Myers-Briggs or Colors or any of those, because it has a path of development. It shows you specifically what patterns and traits you have that are great, and what patterns you have that might be sabotaging you, so you can bring to consciousness and awareness and actually change those patterns, thereby changing your relationships and your outcome in life, and to get loved.
So is it that in these situations, your particular scenario is not as important as it is understanding the individual where they are?
Exactly. Yeah. And having compassion, I want to teach people to have compassion for themselves and to be able to really understand what makes me tick and why am I reacting like this in this situation, and how can I be the best person that I can be, and have a conscious view of what that is, because that's what we need to move forward. We need to see how we can be.
Understanding how to open your heart is very important, and I've realized that there's a voice. For each person, there's a voice that they listen to sometimes, right? Or not. Would you say that you can attribute the heart as the place that voice comes from?
Yeah, I would believe that. I mean, there is a goodness in everyone who is attempting to be as good as they can be. The frustration is that sometimes, our reactions to other people are not having those skills and tools to really make those, to listen to the voice, to connect and make those relationships that are rewarding for us.
Now, for those that are single, please give us a tip. What's the best way? No, I'm not single, amazing audience, if you didn't know, right? Let me put that out there before I get in marital trouble, right?
Yeah, you need to clarify that.
But for those that are listening, give them a tip, something that they can do to love themselves first.
Yeah, for singles, I'm single right now as well. And we've all had past hurts. We've been confused in our relationships of why they haven't worked out. We go out there in the world and we're looking for certain people. We think, we have a picture of what we're looking for, but it's not really always that type of person that's going to make us the happiest. So when you understand your own personality and the gifts you bring to relationships from your personality traits, that's really huge to give people confidence and self-esteem and standing in their values. You're looking for someone else who fits your values.
It's important, isn't it? So would you say that when that person gets into who they are, that they're able to attract that other individual?
Absolutely. And when you know the 9 personalities, you know what personality type you're looking for, or a number of them. This one would fit. The Enneagram does not teach that there's only specific personalities for you. They teach that the more aware and conscious we are, we can create loving, connected, healthy relationships. When you are working on that piece for yourself, it really gives you an awareness. And sometimes when we meet people when we're single, we're nervous and we don't present our best selves. We can say, well, I know the patterns of that personality, and here's the great traits about them.
It's really a perception that you're attaining as you're going along the way. So many people have gotten into marriages, and I've found that it seems as though with the modernization of time through technology, you're seeing people get 30 years of marriage and they're walking away, which is something that wasn't happening before. How do you address that conversation for that individual who feels as though they're trapped and that they want freedom from a relationship that's 30 years in?
That is the biggest demographic right now of divorce rates is in the at least the 40 to 50-year-olds and upward. And what has happened as people, they get to a certain point and they say, is this all there is? And if there's no connection and they have no way of figuring out or how to make it better, it becomes, I was in that position. I was married for 35 years. And it became my life force energy was starting to be used up. My soul was absolutely dying in that relationship because I just didn't know what to do anymore to bring us together, to connect us, and to get my own needs met. I didn't have those skills, and it was very, very painful. And I started to feel like I might even be getting ill. And so after I left, I found the Enneagram, and it gave me, it showed me my impact on my partner, on my husband. It showed me, what he needed from me, why we were unable to connect. It just opened up a whole world to me and possibilities so that I could heal. I could accept my own part in that. And for your question, I love to interpret and translate personality traits so each couple understands how they feel loved, why they're acting and reacting this way, what sort of communication they need between us. And it makes it so much simpler for them to connect. I had one couple who, she came to me in the should I go or should I stay? She said, he's a bully, he's controlling, I'm leaving. And then I worked with them and showed them their impact on each other. And she phoned me up a little while later and she said, what did you do to my husband? And I went, how's this going to go? And she said, he's so nice. He's so respectful. He thought he was helping her because she was not good at receiving and doing everything. She thought he was controlling. It's just a matter of interpretation.
That's beautiful. For those that are listening, where's the best place for them to connect with you?
EileenHead.com. There's a free personality quiz on there, and that's a great start. And I also offer a free strategy call to see where you're at, what's happening, what resources I have to bring to you so that you can get the life and love you desire.
That's wonderful. Well, I did see on your website, the pictures look like the Caribbean Sea. I don't think it's the sea up on the Canadian side, right? It doesn't look like the Pacific, right? So I love that because it does give you that sense of relaxation, that sense of there's hope, isn't it?
Yeah, the picture for me symbolizes, the water is healing, the sand, the energy of the ocean. That's what I want couples to feel is that connection of the sand and water and to know within themselves they have the ability to create the love they desire.
Eileen, my friend, this is such of a grand opportunity. I'm glad that you're continued helping people with their situations, individuals who require such of an experience. There's not many people that turn their challenge into something that can help another person with their confidence. So thank you for that. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, we have such ability within ourselves. For me, it was like opening the flower. When I learned my own Enneagram, it was like a flower that opened and then bloomed. So I encourage you to check that out and see if this is something for you, for your path of development to become the best person you can be.
Again, Eileen Head, a pleasure I treasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.